evening and welcome inside the Sullivan Center for today's college volleyball matchup. It's a CCAC battle between the Saints of the University of St. Francis and the visiting Robert Morris University Eagles. Good evening once again. Welcome to the broadcast. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's game. The first conference match for St. Francis in a little while. They've been on the road in Florida, where they swept 4 matches last week against Weber International, Florida College, Warner, and Southeastern. They only lost 2 sets in that 4-match series over the course of 2 days, so they're on a roll. Their last conference match was 2 weeks ago. That was a win against Cardinal Stritch. They come into today with a record of 17-10, 8-3 in the CCAC. Robert Morris just 2-19 on the season. They are 1-10 in conference play so far this year. We're just about ready to begin. The Fighting Saints are in white, aside from the libero Hannah Monfrey. She's wearing yellow. They're on the right side of your screen. Serving first, Robert Morris in maroon. The libero Cameron Rouse is wearing white. They're on the left side of your screen here in the first of at least 3, potentially as many as 5 sets. Robert Morris is ready to go. It's Kiera Rouse who gets the first serve. It's away, and so are we. St. Francis looking for the first point of the game. Taylor Valent taps it down and gets it. Kiera Rouse made a diving effort, trying to keep that one alive for Robert Morris. She got her hand on the ball, but sent it into the net. Nice hit from Taylor Valent. Nice effort from Rouse, but again, she comes up short. And the Fighting Saints do take the first lead. Hannah Monfrey, the libero, back to serve. Robert Morris looking to return it. Sent over by Haley Welch. There's Taylor Valent tapping over again. This time Rouse is able to keep it alive. It's hit over by Welch to Brooke Withy. There's Stephanie Woods. Stephanie Woods looking for the kill, but she couldn't get it. Good hit, but a net violation, and we're tied at 1. Looking at the starters in today's match for St. Francis: Taylor Valent, Brooklyn Withy, Alexis Engst, Peyton Baer, Jade Livesey-Gork, and Stephanie Woods. The libero is Hannah Monfrey. For Robert Morris, it's Kiera Rouse, Gabriella Kiela, Mandy Stahulak, Destiny Little Hurd, Kayla Beckwith, and Haley Welch. Their libero is Cameron Rouse. Robert Morris trying to take their first lead of the game. The Saints are able to get it across thanks to the right-handed hit of Hannah Monfrey. Good back and forth here. Jade Livesey-Gork trying to cut it across to the other side of the net, but she cuts it straight out of bounds. 2 straight points for Robert Morris. They lead by a 2-1 count. Their first lead in this young match. Taylor Doan gets the serve. A low serve, just got over the net. A good serve. Stephanie Woods pushes it back across. It's returned but out of bounds. St. Francis evens up this first set, 2 points apiece. Coming in to serve now is the freshman setter, Hannah Pacheco. Pacheco has the go-ahead. She's ready to go. There's Rouse for Welch, tipped at the net, kept alive by Valent. There's a block out of bounds, and that point will go to Kendra Bullard and St. Francis. Welch jumped up at the net. She got her hands on it, looking for the block. But it was blocked a little bit off to the left and out of bounds. So the Saints lead by 1. They've got the serve. Good swing, but a dig by Monfrey. Taylor Valent whacks it out of bounds. We're tied up at 3. St. Francis, by record, should not have a problem in this match. 17-10 compared to Robert Morris's 2-19. The Fighting Saints are without 2 of their regulars, as that serve from Robert Morris goes into the net. Kayla Beckwith hit it a little bit too low. Saints get a point on the service error. Lauren Stefanski, who is the conference leader in most stats at the net this year. Tipped over, blocked by Stephanie Woods. Stephanie Woods gets the point for St. Francis, and for the first time today, it's a multi-point lead as they try to pull away a little bit. Taylor Valent hits it too hard and out of bounds. That's a service error against St. Francis, and a point to Robert Morris. Lauren Stefanski not playing today. Neither is Katie Zakis. Zakis is generally the starting libero. There's a point for the Fighting Saints. Set over by Anna Pacheco. Caught Robert Morris off guard with that two-hander. It's a 2-point lead once again for the Fighting Saints. 6-4 is the count. And the Fighting Saints send their sophomore from Mother McCauley, Bevan Carter, in to serve. Hit over by Haley Welch. There's Gabby Palmo setting up Bullard, and Bullard pushes across. A block at the net, and a good job by Robert Morris defensively to stay alive, but Destiny Little Hurd hits it into the net. Point goes to St. Francis. Looked like they might have that point a little bit sooner. Good defense. Robert Morris could not turn it into productive offense. Deflected out of bounds. That's a kill for Haley Welch. Welch is a senior from Phoenix, Arizona, transferred over from South Mountain Community College, and she picks up the kill. 5 serving 7. The serve belongs to Miss Welch. Pacheco sets up Baird, and Peyton Baird went into the net. Or Pacheco did. One of them did. It was a net violation. Robert Morris is within 1, keeping it close here in this first set, but not close enough as Welch hits it into the net. Seen some serving mistakes on both sides early on in this one. For Haley Welch, that's the 9th service error this season. Not one of the typical servers on the year for Robert Morris. She is their best offensive player. Leads the squad with 2.5 kills per set. Received by Cameron Rouse. Good block at the net by Withy. Back over to the Saints side. Here is Withy looking for the kill and picking it up. Brooklyn Withy picks up the point for St. Francis. The Saints now lead by 3. And Alexis Engst gets the serve. Back line, that was in. Just barely snuck inside that line, and that's an ace for Alexis Engst. For Engst, the 19th ace of the season. She ranks 5th on the team in that category. Fighting Saints as a team average about 1.7 aces per set. There's a big point for Destiny Little Hurd. Point for Robert Morris. That's maybe their most impressive point. Certainly it's up there among their first 7. As Little Hurd just wound up, took a swing, and found the soft spot on the back line of defense. 7 serving 10 here. And it's Cameron Rouse, the libero, who gets the serve. And it's an ace for Rouse. Brooklyn Withy received it and didn't do so cleanly. Set it behind her. And none of her teammates were able to get back there to make the play, keep the ball alive. Instead, a point for Robert Morris, and Rouse serves again. Withy receives it again. This time, though, they keep it alive. And Peyton Baird pushes over the net. Miscommunication on Robert Morris, and the ball ends up going out of bounds. A couple of players both went for that ball. Looked like Beckwith and Kiera Rouse were both trying to corral it, and neither one was able to get a clean hit as a result. Point to St. Francis. They lead by 3. That one drifts back to Taylor Valent, and Valent's able to finish it off. That ball got away from Robert Morris, and Valent was ready for it. One good swing and a point for St. Francis. Serve from Brooke Withy goes out of bounds. Point to Robert Morris on the serving error against St. Francis. Kiera Rouse gets the serve for Robert Morris. They've had a few serving errors as well, but this one looks pretty clean. Engst sets it up, and Jade Livesey-Gork throws it down. The senior, Jade Livesey-Gork, the only senior on the roster for St. Francis this year, has her first kill of the night. Saints are up by 4. They're halfway now to a first set victory. Hannah Monfrey goes back to serve. Rouse sets it up, and it is blocked by Stephanie Woods. Mandy Stahulak looked for the kill there. Stephanie Woods got in her way. Good block by Woods. Entered play today with 59 total blocks for the year, 0.6%. Pushed over by the Eagles. Cut across by Jade Livesey-Gork, and Robert Morris just barely able to get it over. Nice work by Robert Morris there. Livesey-Gork pushes it over for St. Francis, and Robert Morris tips it back the other way. I think that was Kira Rouse who got that one. Robert Morris hanging in there, down by 4, not allowing St. Francis to pull away during that sequence. They'll try to go on a run here and tighten it up. Taylor Doan. Stephanie Woods kills it. (15-10). St. Francis holds a 5-point advantage on Robert Morris. Hannah Pacheco has the serve coming for the Fighting Saints. To the back line and in. That's Haley Welch. Welch continues her strong play in the early going today. Her team once again trails by just 4. Robert Morris in maroon and black gets the serve back. It belongs to Gabriella Kiela. Taylor Valance hit high into the air by Rouse and gotten over by Destiny Little-Hurd. And Monfrey bumps it over. That's down out of bounds. Rouse tried to set it up, set it behind her. Point to St. Francis on an unforced Robert Morris error coming off of a pass. Score is 16-11, Fighting Saints. Taylor Valance, serve goes deep, played on the back line by Little-Hurd, and there's a block by Withy. Withy's able to block that shot from Mandy Stahulak. Point for St. Francis, timeout Robert Morris. 17-11, the Fighting Saints have their biggest lead of the night so far, trying to pull away and capture a first set victory. The Saints have not lost too many sets lately. They dropped 2 of them in their most recent contest. That was last Tuesday at Southeastern down in Florida. But they still won that match in 5 sets. Prior to that, they had not lost a single set in any of their last 4 matches. They've been excellent lately after a shaky start to the year. Fighting Saints are 14-3 over their last 17 contests. That includes an 8-3 record in conference play. Robert Morris has been trending in the other direction, trying to get a grip on things. At least challenge St. Francis here as the Fighting Saints trying to move up a spot or 2 in the conference standings. They entered play today in a 3-way tie for 3rd place. Trinity International would have the tiebreaker over them as of today, as the Trojans did come here to Joliet and take a 5-set victory over the Fighting Saints back in September. However, they will play each other one more time this year, so that will not stand as the ultimate tiebreaker. Olivet Nazarene is 1 game ahead of them in 2nd place in the standings at 9-2. They take on Indiana Northwest tonight. Back underway out of the timeout. Stahulak. Hit up into the air by Taylor Valance. Pacheco knocks it over to Monfrey, and Monfrey gets it to the other side. Good hit by Haley Welch, and Welch drops it in for the kill. Robert Morris hanging relatively close here. They still need to get hot. They need to outscore St. Francis 13-6 the rest of the way in order to win this one at the standard 25. Stephanie Woods tipped at the net. Here's Welch to the back line. Back up front, pushed over by Kendra Bullard. Ball is loose on the sideline, diving. Paelmo keeps it alive, and Bullard gets it across the net. Great defense by Paelmo and the Saints. Bullard trying to finish it off. Diving play by Rouse. Great volley going here. Welch taps it over and out. No tip. A point to St. Francis, a hard-fought point featuring some excellent defense. Paelmo made the big play during that sequence, diving into the chairs. Fortunately, she was able to avoid a direct collision, got herself up, and raced right back onto the floor. Great work by Paelmo. Big point for the Saints. Bevan Carter serves. Tipped at the net, back to the other side. There's Stahulak, hit up off the basketball backboard and out of bounds. Point to Robert Morris. That's tough. It's a relatively low ceiling here, and once the ball hits off that basketball backboard, you're not likely to get a favorable bounce. Withy, big kill. Not much nuance to that one. Brooke Withy just ripped a big kill down to the near side corner, and Robert Morris had no answer for it. Here's Alexis Engst. Blocked by the Saints, kept in bounds, and pushed over by Rouse. That's a nice kill by Kira Rouse. Robert Morris again within 5. And Cameron Rouse, Cameron with a K, back to serve. Rouse slices it across to Withy. Withy has the hit to the back line, played by Haley Welch. And a nice hit by Gabriella Keela. Point for Robert Morris, they're within 4. It's Keela or Kiela, I'm not positive about that pronunciation. Gabriella Kiela sounds better. Both names end in that I-E-L-A. Rouse hits it too hard and out of bounds. Point to the Saints. I believe that's the 3rd time they've been given a point on a serving mistake. They're 5 points away from taking a 1-0 lead in the match. Blocked at the net, but kept alive by Robert Morris. Here's Little Herds of the back line and Alexis Engst. Jade Livesey-Gork down the sideline, played by Rouse. Stahulak tipped at the net. Livesey-Gork makes a diving play, but out of bounds. Robert Morris has not led since it was 2-1, I believe, was the score. Last time they were up, but they've hung in there. St. Francis has been up by as many as 6 points a couple of times. Haven't been able to distance themselves any further, and now it's down to 3 as Taylor Valent hits it out of bounds. 17 serving 20 here, and Robert Morris is making a game of it. Point here would make things very interesting. Serve is away from Rouse. Livesey-Gork blocked, and the point goes to the Eagles. On the block, Robert Morris is within 2. And they're on a good run right here. 3 points in a row at a critical juncture. Good setup for Robert Morris. A little bit behind Destiny Little Herd. Peyton Baird gets it back across, playable for the Eagles, and Stahulak gets it down for the point. Timeout called by Kara Courier as she has seen her 6-point lead diminish to 1. 20-19 is our score, and Robert Morris has indeed made a game of it. Trying to pull the first set upset, and you know it's not going to be easy for St. Francis today, despite the records and the way that the teams have been playing lately. This was never going to be a cakewalk for the Fighting Saints. It never is here at home. They've been good down on Pat Quigley Court this year, posting a 3-1 record at home. However, of those 4 matches, all of them have gone to 5 sets. So nothing has come easily to the Saints, neither wins nor losses here at home. They've actually played very well here. They've just had to play a little bit extra. Back on September 10th, their home opener against Trinity International. That was their only loss in 5 sets, but that was extremely close. 25-23, 25-23, 29-27, 25-23, 15-12. Those were the scores that night. It was really an incredible run, but it did end up going to the visiting team. Since then, 3 straight 5-set matches. The Saints have won them all here at home. 19 serving 20. Robert Morris can tie this thing up for the first time since very early. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Peyton Baird picks up the kill. Coming out of the timeout, Peyton Baird fired up. She gets the Saints a 2-point advantage. It's 21-19. And the Fife Saints get the serve back as well, as Hannah Monfrey goes back to do the honors. There's a block by Stephanie Woods. Solo block for Woods. 13 of her blocks entering today were solo. She's got one right there, and a timeout called by Robert Morris now that they've seen a deficit that was down to 1 pushed back up to 3, and their head coach James Dwyer is going to try to put a stop to this run right away. You can't afford to see St. Francis go up any further than this, and that's the position you find yourself in when you're down even by a relatively small margin this late in the set. And it did look over for Robert Morris for a little while. St. Francis led 19-14, and then Robert Morris went on a 4-point run. Actually, that was when it was 20-15. They went on a 4-point run, and they made the score 20-19. St. Francis called a timeout, and they've come out of the timeout strong with 2 consecutive points. And again, this is not a situation here for James Dwyer where he would call a timeout. You all of a sudden see the other team score 2 points in a row earlier in the set, but when you're down 22-19, that's a much bigger deficit than, say, 12-9, even though they're both technically 3 points. Hannah Monfrey set to serve, trying to put the game out of reach. Stahulak tipped at the net, played by Taylor Valance. Here's Livesey Rourke. That's tipped at the net and out of bounds. The senior out of Oregon makes it 23-19 St. Francis. And they are now on the verge of finishing it off. Stahulak is blocked, right back to Stahulak. Here's Little Hurd, and she finds an open spot along the sideline. Good swing by Destiny Little Hurd. Score is 23-20. Robert Morris keeps their hopes alive. Serve from Taylor Doan. Livesey Rourke cuts it across. Here's Stahulak blocked out of bounds. Point Robert Morris, 2 in a row for the Eagles. Every time it looks like they're done, they're not. They've gone on some critical runs. Can they do it right here? Out of bounds. That's a costly error. And it sets up set point for St. Francis. Robert Morris had just started to look like they were taking momentum. They shoot themselves in the foot on that one. And now Hannah Pacheco can finish it off. 24 serving 21. Pacheco, the one doing the honors. And it's out of bounds. A problematic serve for St. Francis immediately after the error committed by Robert Morris. Now the Eagles need 2 more points consecutively to stay alive. Kayla Beckwith is back to serve. Monfrey to Pacheco to Valent, and Valent hits the line, gets it inbounds for a win. St. Francis fights off a feisty Robert Morris team. 25-22 is the final score in the first set. Still a long way to go for the Fighting Saints, but they've weathered the storm so far. We're going to take a break here. Back with the second set in just a few moments. This is St. Francis Volleyball with a 1-0 lead on Robert Morris here on the USF Sports Network. Getting ready to start the second half, or second set. Here in Joliet, University of St. Francis, the Fighting Saints hold a 1-0 lead over the Robert Morris Eagles. 25-22 was the final score in the first set. It was close. St. Francis led throughout. Robert Morris only had one lead. It was at 2-1. He may have been up 3-2 as well, but it was certainly close early on, and then it looked like the Saints were going to pull away. Robert Morris would go on a run. It looked like the Saints were going to pull away again. Robert Morris would go on another run. St. Francis knows nothing comes easily against a conference foe, even one that's got just one win in the CCAC season so far. So they're not going to take Robert Morris lying down here. They'll try for a little bit of an easier victory in the second set as we are underway with the Saints getting the first serve. Stephanie Woods tries to push it down, but Rouse is able to play it at the net. Ball drops on the Robert Morris side. Good battle right up at the net there, and St. Francis ends up with the point. 1-0 to start things out. Hannah Pacheco ties it up at 1 on an errant serve. We're tied at 1. Robert Morris gets their first serve of the set. There's Kendra Bullard finishing it off with the kill. Kendra Bullard for the Fighting Saints, a sophomore from Random Lake, Wisconsin. That's the name of the lake. I'm not just saying pick one at random, although you can do that too if you want. Taylor Valent serves. Valent plays it on the back line. Here comes Withy. That one was tipped at the net. Easily playable on the back line by Robert Morris. That was tipped at the net. And it drops in for a Robert Morris point. We're tied at 2. Much like the first set, this one starts out with the two teams trading points early. Serve belongs to Taylor Doan. It's T-A-E-L-O-R. Withy, good hit off the side of Doan's arm and out of bounds. Point to St. Francis. They're on top by 1, 3-2. Bevan Carter comes in as the designated server. This is only the 10th match that Carter has appeared in this year out of the 28 the team has played in. She does have one ace. There's a block by St. Francis, kept alive by Robert Morris. That's Stahulak just out of bounds in the corner. That one did not go out by much. It missed the line by inches. And it is a point for St. Francis, who now has scored 2 in a row. Has taken a multi-point lead. Going back, Bevan Carter plays it out of bounds, and Palmo gets it over. Nice teamwork by the Saints that time. Stahulak taps it across. Check go to the back line, played by Little Hurd. There's Withy. Good dig by Cameron Rouse. Welch, Withy keeps it alive, but not long enough as Palmo's dive comes up short. A good attack by Welch, and Haley Welch picks up the point. 3 serving 4 early in this second set. And the serve belongs to Stephanie Covarrubias. First time we have seen Covarrubias today. She comes in for the serve. It's a good one. Just drops in the line. An ace for Covarrubias ties us at 4. For Covarrubias, that's the 3rd ace this season. Not one to get a ton of playing time. She does her job here today. Might have another one. Palmo can't get it over. I said Palmo can't get it over. She's not the one who is at fault for that, though. She was put in a tough spot. She just happened to be the last one to hit it. Robert Morris is on a 3-0 run. They take their first lead here at 5-4. Make it 6-4 as Hannah Pacheco is called for the double hit. 4 in a row for the Eagles. Saints a little bit out of sorts right now. They're trying to stop this run from Stephanie Covarrubias. There's Withy. High up into the rafters, and it drops. A point for Brooke Withy, and the Saints are back on the board, trailing by just 1. Alexis Engst comes in to serve. Able to say Gork comes back into the match with her. Serve is away. Hits the top of the net, kept alive, and punched over. Nice work, just barely to keep it going, but that time the Saints used the net to their advantage. Skimming it over, dropped into that spot right in front of the net for a St. Francis point. We're tied at 6. Stahulak, played by Monfrey, and they can't get it over. That point goes to Robert Morris. They're back in front. 7-6 is the score. Server is Mandy Stahulak, and she hits it out of bounds. Saints get the points on the mistake made by Robert Morris. It's one area in which the Eagles really have not struggled this year, serving. And it's one area that Brooklyn Withy thrives in right now. That's an ace for Withy. I was just going to say, Robert Morris has actually been very good this year in terms of avoiding mistakes on serves. They average only 4 of them per match. St. Francis is at about 8 per match, just to give you an idea of comparison. And there's one of those scheduled 8. to service error on Withy immediately after the ace. We're tied at 8. Finally, the ball is back in play after 2 straight points that ended on serves. This one doesn't go much longer. Taylor Valent picks up a big kill. And the Saints lead it by a point. 9-8 is our score. Ever since an early run in the first set, these two teams have played each other pretty even. St. Francis is trying to pull away and just hasn't been able to do it so far. There's a block at the net by the Fighting Saints. Robert Morris keeps it alive. A battle at the net, won by the Saints. Jed Livesey-Gork will get credit for that point. And she's the one who played it up on the right side, right at the net, going against Destiny Little-Hurd. And Monfrey has an ace now. Got a little help from the net as well. Should take it any way she can. A point for Monfrey. It's an 11-8 St. Francis lead. They are starting to go on that run they've been looking for. It's their biggest lead so far in the set. And it hasn't gotten any bigger yet, thanks to some good defense by Robert Morris. Livesey-Gork hitting it over, rebounded by the Eagles and tapped across by Stephanie Woods. Woods for St. Francis takes the point. Timeout called by Robert Morris. It's a 12-8 Fighting Saints lead. Robert Morris calls the timeout. James Dwyer, in his first season as the head coach of the Eagles, gathers the troops over towards the sidelines. It's a very young coaching staff for Robert Morris, trying to turn around the recent misfortunes of the program. Robert Morris finished 11-24 last year. James Dwyer was the men's coach last year, at least on an interim basis. He and Nick Spallina have been coaching together, and they coach together this year as well. Nick Spallina is James Dwyer's assistant. Spallina is the head men's coach, and Dwyer is his assistant on that side. So it's a very collaborative coaching staff, and they are trying to breathe life into a team that has been near the bottom of the CCAC in recent years. Dwyer just finished up his schooling at Robert Morris 2 years ago. He's a very young coach. His talk during the timeout all finished. It's 12-8. The Saints have the lead, and they've got the serve here. Monfrey's serve is received by Welch. Here's Little-Hurd looking for the line. She's got it. Right along the sideline, Destiny Little-Hurd just gets it in. A well-placed attack. It's now a 3-point game, and 9 is serving 12. Cameron Rouse gets the hit for Robert Morris. Taylor Valent got it in. Blocked but out of bounds. A point for Valent. That adds 1 to the Saints' lead. And again, they reach the halfway point first, securing their 13th point. Here's Anna Pacheco to serve. Taylor Valent tips it over for the point. Second time we've seen that happen to Robert Morris today, just trying to make a dig. The ball sails just to the other side of the net. It was just floating up there. An easy kill for Taylor Valent. Little-Hurd gets a little bit of a tougher kill. She gets it though. Point for Robert Morris. Back to a 4-point game. Kira Rouse's serve is received by Monfrey. Stephanie Woods has the kill. 5-point St. Francis lead. Taylor Valent serve. Valent this season has 8 aces for the Fighting Saints. Doesn't add number 9 right here, but it is an attacking error against Robert Morris. Andy Stahulik sends it into the net. And the Saints have their biggest lead of the set, 6 points. This, in fact, matches their largest lead of the entire match so far. Beckwith drops it in. Diving play made by Pacheco, but she hit it into the bleachers. So a point to Robert Morris. St. Francis still just can't get over that 6-point hump. They were up by as many as 6 a couple of times in the first set. Robert Morris fought back. They only lost by 3. Down by 6 here in this one. They're trying to make a run, but it's back to 6 as the serve goes out of bounds from Taylor Dome. Point to the Fighting Saints. Bevan Carter comes in to serve. Back line, that was deflected out of bounds. It's a point to St. Francis. Bevan Carter's got herself an ace, and now a 7-point lead for St. Francis. So they are starting to pull away. Carter's second serve attempt. This time it's played by Rouse. And it hit into the face of Gabby Paelmo. Kendra Bullard and Paelmo were both going after that ball. A little late on the communication. Bullard's the one who hit it. Paelmo wasn't able to get out of the way, so she got the deflection in the face. And it dropped in for a Robert Morris point. Paelmo lets that one go out of bounds. It's a serving error. Point to USF, 19-12, they lead. Here's Alexis Engst to serve. Engst is ready to go. Stahulak is not tipped, it's went out of bounds. She just got it off of her fingertips there and had a little bit too much loft to that ball. I thought it might have been deflected at the net. Just tipped too high though. Stahulak again. This time she just taps it over. Lightly, but not lightly enough for Jay Livesey-Gork to miss it. Robert Morris trying to return. It's blocked out of bounds. Point to St. Francis, and now it's turning into a runaway. A 7-2 run for the Fighting Saints. They lead by 9. Stahulak. Blocked, but on the wrong side for St. Francis. Point Robert Morris. (21-13), the Fighting Saints have the lead, but it is their adversaries from Chicago who has the serve. Mandy Stahulak for Robert Morris, trying to get her team back into this thing. Peyton Baird has other ideas. Her swing, though, dug out by Destiny Little-Hurd, blocked back over by St. Francis. Now here are the Saints. Livesey-Gork gets it in. Jade Livesey-Gork makes it a 22-13 St. Francis lead. This is around the time that Robert Morris went on their big run in the last set. We'll see if this time the Fighting Saints can put them away. Tipped at the net. Monfrey to Engst to Baird. Blocked by Kiella. Taylor Valent knocks it in. Beautiful swing from Taylor Valent, who picks up another kill. 10-point lead for the Saints. Here's the hit from Withy. That's out of bounds. That's the team high 48th service error on Brooklyn Withy this year. Her team, though, still has a big edge. As Robert Morris gets the serve back, it belongs to Haley Welch. Valance, too strong, out of bounds, just out. Eagles are within 8. Good serve, down to the knees. Withy plays it. Jade Livesey-Gork to the back line. Here's Little-Hurd. Withy can't keep it alive. Robert Morris once again going on a run. They may have waited a little bit too long this time. Might be too little too late, still down by 7 points. Saints need just 2 for the win. Robert Morris is making a game of it, even more so, as Withy again tries to keep it alive unsuccessfully. 4 in a row for Robert Morris. They're down by 6. Robert Morris always seems to come to life in the latter third of the game. Another serve from Haley Welch. And this time it's an ace for Welch. See if Kara Courier wants to stop play this time and talk things over. She did at a similar stage of a big late run from Robert Morris in the first set. This time she'll let it play out. Serve from Welch. Withy to Angst. Livesey Rourke. Blocked but right into the net. And a point to St. Francis. Jade Livesey Rourke finally ends the run, and now the Saints will have 6 consecutive match points, or set points rather, potentially as many as 6 set points. Monfrey looks to end the game with this one. Hit up into the air by Robert Morris. Rouse to Little Hurd. Alexis Angst punches it back into the air. Taylor Valent goes up high and drops it in. Taylor Valent gives the game to the Fighting Saints. 25-18 the final score. And St. Francis takes a commanding 2-0 lead in this best-of-5 set, best-of-5 match. I'm going to take a break. Back in just a couple of minutes. We'll have the third set coming your way, and if St. Francis has it their way, it'll be the last set coming up next, so stick around. 25-18, our final. St. Francis wins the second. St. Francis is just 25 points away from securing their 15th win in their last 18 matches. They're 6-1 so far, 6-2 rather, so far in the month of October. And they're off to a hot start today, 25-22 and 25-18. Those are the final scores in their first and second set victories, and now they'll try to finish off these Robert Morris Eagles. The Eagles will get first serve here in the third set. Robert Morris needs this one to keep their night alive. First serve will belong to Kiera Rouse, who started the match with the first serve back around 7 o'clock. nearly an hour ago. First serve from Rouse goes to the back line, played by Brooklyn Withy. Here we go. Jade Livesey-Cork gets it inbounds. Close to the line. Stayed in. And Livesey-Cork has had a nice night. She's got 5 kills this evening, including one right there. Here's Hannah Pacheco. She lofts a serve over the net. And a point picked up by Kayla Beckwith, who dropped it between the two lines of defense. We're tied at 1. Well, we have been. And all 3 matches, all 3 sets of this match, they've gone very similarly. First 2 at least, back and forth early on, very close to the first 10 to 15 points. There's Taylor Valance, retrieved by Rouse. Beckwith trying to pick up the point there. Stephanie Woods can't quite find the ground. Good defense by Robert Morris. And it's pushed over by Hannah Pacheco. St. Francis gets the point 2-1. Again, they've been very tight for the first 10 to 15 points or so, and then St. Francis has pulled away and made it look like a blowout. And then Robert Morris has fought back and made it close in the end, but not come all the way back. There's a mistake by Robert Morris as they're not able to get that second hit in. As they try to return the serve from Taylor Valance, it's a point for St. Francis and a 3-1 Saints lead. Haley Welch too far and out of bounds. Well, maybe St. Francis is trying a different tactic here, looking to just pull away right from the word go. Over from Beckwith. Valance to Pacheco to Withy, who gets it over, and it drops. Little Hurd tried to set up Stahulak, but off on that hit, and an early timeout called by Robert Morris. They're a little bit off beat to start this third set. 5-1. St. Francis jumps out to a quick lead. Taylor Valance is leading the way for the Fighting Saints today with 7 kills. Valance has been a consistent performer all season long for St. Francis. To play today, tied for the team lead with 238 kills. Lauren Stefanski was the one she was tied with, and she's taken an edge on Stefanski. Hasn't picked up any today. She's not playing. Stefanski, who ranks in the top 5 in the country in hit percentage, just a little bit behind Taylor Valance in terms of kills per set at the start of play today, but the 3 big hitters for the Fighting Saints, Stefanski, Valance, and Withy. They're all neck and neck battling it out for the team lead. Stefanski had played in every set, not just every match, but every set this year prior to today. And now she's missed 3, potentially more as we go on tonight, giving Withy and Valance a little edge in that race for the top. All 3 within 10 sets of each other. Saints need to get it over here. Valance does. There's a block by St. Francis. Stephanie Woods and Kendra Bullard up at the net on that one. St. Francis takes a 6-1 advantage over Robert Morris early in this third set. And there's another block by Stephanie Woods. Woods has had a big night at the net. She's been in on parts of 5 blocks. Saints have scored 6 in a row, breaking an early 1-1 tie to pull away to a hefty lead so far. Valance been on the serve throughout most of this run. Haley Welch taps it over for Robert Morris. An errant set and a net violation against St. Francis. It's a rare mistake made by the Fighting Saints. We haven't seen many of them during this third set, certainly. But at that time, Hannah Pacheco's set just got away from her. And nothing anybody else could have done to help out at that point. It's 2 serving 7 here. Covarrubias gets the serve. Withy gets the kill. Withy trying to not let Taylor Valent get too far ahead of her in that race for the top in terms of kills for the season. She came in 9 behind Valent and Stefanski. Here's a serve from Bevan Carter. Stahulak is blocked by Withy. Withy gets a kill, and now she gets a block. Back-to-back points for Withy. And the Saints' lead is 7. After a couple of hard-fought sets in which they fell just short, I wonder if maybe the air is out of the balloon a little bit on Robert Morris's side. Andy Stahulak to the back line. Diving play made by Bevan Carter. Looked like Pacheco was going to have the point. Nice diving play by Rouse, and Stahulak gets the kill. Saints blocked it up at the net, but right out of bounds. Good sequence there for Robert Morris. Started with the defense from Kiara Rouse. There's the serve from Stahulak. And a kill for Bullard. Set up by Pacheco, gets the assist. Bullard has the point. Saints lead by a 7 spot. Tiffany Preston comes in for Robert Morris. First time we've seen Preston today, one of 4 seniors on this Robert Morris roster. And a service there, and Alexis Engst goes right into the net. Preston is appearing in her 64th set of the season. She's with Haley Welch, Stephanie Covarrubias, and Cameron Rouse. Those are the 4 seniors on this Robert Morris squad. Good play by Haley Welch to knock that ball into the air. And Cameron Rouse gets it over. That's Brooklyn Withy again. Rouse tried to return it, sent it out of bounds though. Another big hit by Withy. 11-4. Good lead for St. Francis. Brooke Withy has the serve. Little Hurd whacked it out of bounds. An attacking error. And a point to St. Francis. 12-4. Serve from Withy. Back over by Haley Welch. There's Taylor Valent sneaking it in the line. Good hit by Valent. Got it inside by inches. And it's a 9-point lead for St. Francis for the 3rd straight game. They're the first to 13. Not that that's necessarily a number we need to track, but 13 is more or less the halfway point to the victory, and that's where the Saints stand right now. Just about halfway to a 3rd set victory, which would be a match victory. There's a block. Inbounds. Just got in. Livesey, Rourke, and Baird at the net that time. The Saints are not only playing extremely well, they're winning the battle of inches. Seems like every close call has been just inside the line for them, and that's a double hit. 15-4. Everything's falling apart now for Robert Morris. They hung in very tough against a team that on paper should have had their number. Robert Morris has played a fine match tonight, and a good hit right there by Kiara Rouse for the point. Robert Morris, like I said, they've hung in very well against one of the top teams in the conference, but they may be running out of steam here late as they trail by 10 points. Now's the time, though, where they can establish themselves going forward if they go on a big run now. Taylor Valent won't let them start at this point. Valent taps it down for another kill. 16-5 St. Francis, and a big lead for the Fighting Saints, who get the serve back. It's Hannah Munfrey's turn. Robert Morris in good position here. Destiny Little Herd plays it to the back line, and Withy. Tapped over by Valent. This time she doesn't quite get it over. She taps it into the net. And at that point, we'll go to Robert Morris on the Saints attacking error. Ten-point deficit for the Eagles. It's now or never. They're going to come alive and force a fourth set. Kiera Rouse gets the serve. It might be never. They just have not been able to seize the moment here in this third set the way they were in the first two when they went on some late runs and made it close. Service error committed by Rouse there. Makes it 17-6. Battle at the net. Pushed over by Beckwith, and she drops it into the corner. Very good placement there by Beckwith. And that's the placement that the Saints have been getting all night. Just inside the line. They've been playing each other even over the last few minutes. Still, though, big lead for St. Francis after they started out so hot. And another service error. It's the second in a row against Robert Morris. Makes it 18-7 in favor of the Fighting Saints. Valent's serve is played on the back line. Blocked by St. Francis. Hulak gets it over, and it was tipped out of bounds as Valent tried to make the diving play. Couldn't keep it alive for the Saints. Again, it's a 10-point game. Stephanie Covarrubias on for the serve. Stephanie Woods tipped, still alive. Hulak pushes it over. A little miscommunication, but the Saints keep it going. Withy taps it across, but Robert Morris able to play it. A block by Woods, and a good recovery by Robert Morris. Into the net, though, and that's a point for the Fighting Saints. Not sure if Haley Welch just hit that one to the net or if Stephanie Woods got her palm on it. But either way, it did drop on Robert Morris's side, and the Saints pick up the point as a result. Bevan Carter has appeared in all three sets tonight. She's back in for the serve, performing the role usually filled by McKenna Bartecki, who's also out tonight. There's a block by Bullard. Welch gets it over. Good defensive play by Rouse, but it's a free ball. Chance for the Saints here. Bullard to the back line. A good dig by Little Herd. Stahulak gets it down. Annie Stahulak has the point. Well, Robert Morris has not been able to get this deficit back to single digits in a while, but they're not letting St. Francis hit more than an 11-point lead. They've gone back and forth here. Saints have had a 10-point lead, it seems, forever. Never seems to be more or less. Play it at the net. Back to St. Francis. Withy. Diving play by Rouse. There's Withy again. Gets it in. And a kill for Brooklyn Withy. That's her 10th of the night. Now it's an 11-point game for St. Francis. Let's see if Robert Morris can make it 10 again. Saints are just 5 points away from putting a bow on this. And it's a 12-point lead now. Gabriella Kiela could not keep it in bounds. It's an ace for Alexis Engst. 12-point lead for the Saints. There's Little Herd to the back line. Engst knocks it up. Palmo. Now Monfrey gets it across. Good diving play by Palmo there. Good body placement by Brooklyn Withy. Kept it alive. Strong plays by both sides during this rally. Back to Robert Morris. Hit over. Alexis Engst, the first one to touch it for the Saints. Here's Jade Livesey-Grook to the back line. Played by Preston. Haley Welch taps it across. And again, the Saints keep it alive. Rivaseg Rourke blocked. Angst is there to keep it alive. Withy to the back line and out of bounds. Finally, a great run ends, and it ends on a ball knocked just a little bit too far by Brooke Withy. Robert Morris back on the board into double figures with their score. Still chasing 11 points here, though. Serve from Haley Welch. Withy. This time sneaks it in. Similar spot to Withy's last hit. That went just barely out of bounds. This one just barely in. And Withy has herself another kill. Withy is back to serve, and if things go right here, she could be the last server of the game. Gabriella Killa taps it over. Taylor Valent on a line played by Rouse, Cameron Rouse. Blocked by the Saints, and they'll get the point. Jade Rivaseg Rourke, Peyton Baird in on that block. Withy gets another serve. And Withy gets an ace. Match point coming up for Brooklyn Withy and the Fighting Saints. 24-10 is our score. Saints have already taken the first two sets, trying to make it a clean sweep here. Withy ready to put this one in the air. Little Hurd out of bounds. Was it tipped? It was not. Match point, Fighting Saints. They take it 25-10. And that's 3 in a row for St. Francis. They knock off Robert Morris by finals of 23 or 25. Yeah, they don't usually end at 23. 25-22, 25-18, and now 25-10 in a dominant final. Impressive showing from St. Francis tonight as they're able to knock off Robert Morris with relative ease in the third set. Even without Lauren Stefanski, without Katie Zakis, without McKenna Bartecki, the Saints take care of business against the Robert Morris team, who certainly did show a lot of gumption in the first two sets tonight. Just didn't have enough left to put forth the same kind of showing in the finale. Saints with the win improved to 18-10 overall. They're now 9-3 in conference. Robert Morris falls to 2-20. They drop to 1-11 in conference play this year. Their only win coming last month against Calumet College of St. Joseph, who remains winless in CCAC play so far this year. For St. Francis, it's a big run coming up, trying to establish themselves as one of the teams to beat in the CCAC. They improved their conference mark to 9-3, and they've got 2 more in a row coming up at home against some tough opposition. St. Ambrose right here on this court at 7 o'clock on Thursday night. And then one of the teams they're tied with in the conference standings right now, Indiana South Bend. Indiana South Bend will be here next Tuesday, a week from today at the same time we started tonight's match, 7 o'clock p.m. sharp. Both of those matches will be available through the USF Sports Network, just as this one here today has been. So we hope that you tune in on Thursday night, Tuesday as well. Saints take today in a clean sweep, 25-22, 25-18, 25-10. That's all she wrote for today's broadcast. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you're a Saints fan, I'm guessing you probably did. St. Francis picks up their 18th win of the year, their 15th in their last 18. We're back at it Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Until then, this is Terry Bonavana signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.